Here with Average Joe's Sports Talk. We're joined by the Montevallo High School football team. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you their name, what position they play, and what grade they're in.
I'm Brantley Burke. I'm the senior center.
Jaden Rutledge, receiver.
I'm Jalen Hudson, right guard, right tackle, and senior.
Tell me a little bit about this group. What stands out to you guys about this team, and what gives you guys a lot of confidence heading into this football season?
I think all these guys they've played a whole bunch of football alongside by me, so just having that chemistry right there, that helps. He came in my 10th grade year. He couldn't play at all because he had some transferring issues, but he came in 11th grade year. He just stuck right with the program and he fit in perfectly. So that gives us a lot of confidence because we know how to play ball with each other.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off what Brantley said. I feel like we have a family here, a great bond. We know how to play together. Just that chemistry we have with each other.
Yeah, I feel like most of us, we've been playing together since middle school. I feel like we've been playing, starting since a young age, since we got here to high school. I feel like we have something to teach the younger guys. They watch us all the time. They learn what to do. We're going to be a great team.
When you look at the team, the way that everybody kind of worked this summer, kind of tell me about the motivation that you guys saw from this group and just, what kind of stood out to y'all about how people approached this summer and the summer workouts.
I'm stoked by just the way that the young guys have responded to everything new. Like, we got a bunch of young guys, big bodies coming in, and they're picking up real well. We've got 2 new guys coming on the line, filling spots, and they're picking up real quick. So that's really motivating because it doesn't really make you feel like you got to take a step back to get them going.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we got a lot of motivation especially from last year, making it to the playoffs. It just makes us more hungry, want to go deeper, from losing to Jackson. Especially I didn't get to play that game for issues in school, but yeah, I just put in motivation, especially for us, our last year, last ride. We got to put everything on the line.
I feel like at the beginning of the summer, everything we did was new to the younger guys. They bought in. As long as they bought in, it was easy for them to pick up quick, and they learned everything quickly. I'm proud of them because it helped us all as a team.
You guys are out there in helmets today, and with this time period, you're not hitting the crap out of each other, doing all that type of stuff. But how important is this time here where the younger guys are kind of learning the drills, learning what you need to do, and you guys are able to kind of work on technique and stuff as well and show them, hey, this is what practice is going to be like and this is what we expect throughout the year?
It is really important because this is the time where you're not really trying to put somebody in the hospital. You're trying to work everything down. You're trying to dot your I's and cross your T's. So this is the part where you get everything right. And, if you do mess up, you mess up going full speed, and we have a good time out there either way. So.
Yeah, I feel like this time is most important to us, most important to the program, football, because, younger guys, they follow us, seniors, like, they do what we do, so we got to lead and show them examples, and, yeah.
I feel as if this is the most important time because you can't do anything else in football like hit, score touchdowns, unless you learn this stuff. You have to have a scheme. And right now we're learning the scheme as a team. You can't learn this, you can't learn anything else.
Tell me a little bit about your senior group and just in each of y'all's opinion, how y'all felt about the way that y'all have led this group and the way that y'all tried to be good examples for everybody else.
We've had some really good senior classes come through the past 3 and 4 years. And, we're just – all we know is what they did, and they set a really good example, so we know that we have to be that team or this group of guys to step up and fill those shoes and be a good example for these younger guys.
Yeah, so, I feel like as receivers, we have a lot of young receivers. We try to help them out, stay after practice sometimes, let them learn the routes, be perfect in every aspect because we might need them. Like, one of us might get hurt or something, so we have to teach them and get everything right with them and make sure it's perfect.
This senior this senior class here has the opportunity to be one of or the first senior class to win or go to playoffs all 4 years. I feel like, back to back. I feel like this is a great senior class because we had a lot of good people to look up to. I feel like the pressure is on us, but we can do it.
Is that kind of the motivation, what he just talked about, and him becoming that first senior class to do that and really kind of setting the trend of, hey, we want this to become the culture here at Montevallo that we expect to be here every year?
Yes, sir. It's really like, it's just that daunting, like, thought in the back of your head, like, we got to get this right. So if we mess up, we mess up. But we got one opportunity. We got this last year to get it right. So our back's against the wall. We just got to know how we got to play like we know how to do.
Yeah, I say we got to make it a tradition. Teams after us make it to the playoffs every year. Just make it a standard here in Montevallo.
Yeah, I feel like if we don't do it this year, they're gonna have to wait a whole another number of years to do that. So why not do it now? We have the opportunity, so we take it while we have it.
What are y'all's big keys for the year? I mean, what do y'all feel like this team's going to really have to do week in and week out to accomplish your goals and get where you guys want to get to at the end of the year?
I think if we really want to go deep in the playoffs, then we're going to have to step up. I mean, there's a few young guys, like I said, taking up big roles, but the other guys behind them, they've also got to buy in and they've got to step up as well.
Absolutely. We lost a lot of people in that senior class last year, a lot of key players, so we just got to focus in, dial in, do everything right that we can, and get all the little things right.
I feel like focus, dedication, and leadership is what we will need to make it to the playoffs this year. Keep going week by week. If we have leadership, we have somebody to push everybody else on the team. Make sure we stay focused, stay dedicated.
Guys, listen, appreciate y'all taking the time to chat with us, and good luck to y'all this year. Really looking forward to seeing how the season goes for y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Caleb Brooks here with Average Joe Sports Talk. We're joined by some members of the Montevallo football team. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, tell you their name, what position they play, and what grade they're in.
Anthony Martin, senior, running back and star.
Timothy Waters, corner, senior.
RJ Smith, senior, defensive tackle.
Just tell me about this team. I mean, what do y'all like about this group, and what kind of makes y'all look forward to coming here and being around all these guys every single day?
I really love this team. I feel like we're looked at as a smaller group, but I think we shouldn't be looked at by just our size. I feel like we're gonna step up a lot in the field this year, and I just want to shock people and show them that there's a change and difference. So.
Obviously this team is small, like he said, but we made a lot of relationships on this team, man. We love each other, we care for each other. When somebody get down, we pick them back up, and that's just really what we have to have as a team. We have to build a relationship with each other.
We're not the biggest team, but we got a good head on our shoulders. We're fast, and we can get through things faster, and we're just a great all-around team.
Y'all talk about kind of being a smaller, group of guys and all that type of stuff. But do y'all enjoy that part where, everybody on this team and you guys have grown up around all these guys, and does that make it even more fun when, even though it is a smaller group, y'all been around each other for your whole entire lives, and does that make it even more fun to get to do this?
Yes, sir. The fact that everybody on this team, we also have grown up with each other ever since C-League. We all play with each other. I like that too because it brings that chemistry. Like everybody's been around each other, so it's like we're all close, and I find that as a good standpoint.
As a team, there is chemistry. We have been playing with each other since Little League. We have made it up here, and we've grown in size, and I feel like we have a lot to fight for. Since we are a smaller team, there is bigger opponents, but it doesn't matter really about size. We just gotta go out there and do our thing.
We're a good team. We work good together. We have a lot of chemistry over the years, and we just gotten better as a group and getting up and up and up in the seasons.
Other guys kind of talked about, what you guys are wanting to leave here as a senior legacy, being the first group to make it to the playoffs every single year and all that type of stuff. And just, kind of tell me a little bit about how much that has motivated you guys and how much y'all talk about, being the first group to get to do that here.
Yes, sir. That motivates us big time. I find that as Yeah, I want to be that team, that fourth or fifth team to make it in that playoffs. But also, in order for us to go deep in the playoffs, I feel like we also got to take a big step as a team, and stay on top of things and stand straight forward.
I feel like this is important to me and important to everybody as seniors. We don't want to let the community down. I feel like it's not really about what we do; it's about what we do on the field. I feel like that's going to help us make the playoffs. That's going to help us do what we have to do.
I think the players above us, they motivated us to want to go harder every day in the weight room, on the field, just to get better than they did and, progress down the season.
Getting, the postseason experience that y'all have had over the last couple of years, how important do y'all feel like that can be for this team this year? And where do y'all feel like that can help you in some of the big moments that y'all are going to face during the season?
I feel like that's very important, big time, but in a good way, because, okay, so it's like seeing that team can do it, the team before that can do it, and the team before that can do it, so that means we can do it too. It's nothing different, just all about motivation and stand on top of it and, just going straight from there.
Yeah, like you said, motivation from postseason. I feel like we are motivated. We have to have confidence, and that's really the key to win.
Yeah, we're motivated, really motivated. Our team, we're just getting better. We're just getting used to the field. But us as seniors, we kind of been through it our past 4 years, so I guess it's getting easier for us. So we just try to go as hard and do as well as possible.
How important do y'all feel like getting off to a good start this year is going to be? Games 1, games 2, non-region games, but how important can those be in kind of building momentum into region play? And, you guys trying to, obviously host a playoff game and be right here at Montevallo the first week of the playoffs.
Yes, sir. I feel like that first win, if we get this first win, I feel like that's going to play a big role on winning throughout the season, showing that motivation and just getting that winning mindset, I feel like that's going to play a big role if we, just keep winning and stay on forward and make it to the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs and go from there.
I feel like we had to have a great start, because if we start off bad, I feel like we're going to have no hope, we're going to have no motivation as ourselves. And if we start off good, like first game 1, we have to take game by game, you feel me? We have to win each game to have motivation. We have to build ourselves up.
Yeah, if we don't win these first games, I think our motivation will go down. But as we progress in the season, the teams that we beat, the better teams that we beat, I think it'll get our motivation back up, and we'll go out the season winning and go maybe host a playoff game.
What are y'all's biggest keys? I mean, what are y'all going to be looking for each week for this team to do really well in order to be successful this year?
Stand on top of things, and definitely practices. Great, having good momentum at practice, and just keeping that to ourselves and saying that, okay, today's going to be a good practice, the next day is going to be a good practice, and the next day after that. So I feel like practice is definitely going to play a big role in this season.
I feel like we play energy and speed and effort. I feel like those are the really key things that we have.
I think just effort, flying around the field, that practice, having a good practice, and just moving fast and staying on top of what we got to do to beat the team.
Guys, listen, really appreciate y'all taking the time to join us, and good luck to y'all this year.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Caleb Brooks here with Average Joe's Sports Talk. I'm joined by head football coach here at Montevallo High School, Coach Blake Boren. And Coach, for you guys, this week as football gets started all around the state, and everybody's getting going with pads getting on, helmets getting on, all that type of stuff. And as a coach, just what does that do for you? How excited does that get you year after year when this time of year comes around?
It's huge. This is my 15th year. I started in 2006, 2007, and even as a coach now, I've been at Montevallo 3 years, but you still get the butterflies before. And one of the great things about the state now is we can work with our kids through the summer, but there's just something different about when that last week of July rolls around and you take your last vacation, and you kind of know when we get back, we're getting ready to get going. So there's a little bit different enthusiasm, a little bit different intensity. Clearly, we're right around the corner, and kids are excited, coaches are excited, and we're ready to keep moving.
Your dad obviously was a big part of this program at one time, being the head coach here, and does that add any kind of extra motivation for you, or does it add any kind of extra pride in what you want to do here at Montevallo?
Well, I think there's always pride. I played here, and so Montevallo's a special place. You know, I played here my 9th and 10th grade year. My dad was a head coach here from, I think, 1998 to 2002. Our defense coordinator, Jim King, was the head coach here. Followed my dad from 2003 to 2008. And so, and then 2 or 3 of my assistants as well played here. So, you know, I tell our kids all the time, we're invested in the community. You know, a lot of our players, like Jaden Rutledge, who you just had, I played with his dad when he was here. And so it means a lot to all of us. We're all invested and want to be a part of this program. And we're doing everything we can to make it as successful as we can.
Going into year 3 now here at Montevallo, and just how different are things, especially compared to year 1 where you're dealing with COVID, dealing with all that type of stuff. I mean, how much smoother are things now with preseason practice, all that type of stuff?
Well, it's smooth just because there's an expectation and a process, and that's the big thing when you take a job is, you know, you try to get how do you want things done, and things you don't even think about from when we prepare to go practice. You know, who's getting the period clock, and we're going to film practice, and all the little details behind the scenes. Are difficult when you first get somewhere because you want to establish your identity and all those things matter. And so for us, really the big thing in year 3 is a lot of the same staff is here. A lot of the same players are still here playing. You know, we played Hanley in the second round of the playoffs in 2020, and I think of the 6 guys you interviewed today, 4 or 5 of them started in that game. And so we are fortunate that we have some players back, and every year is a new year, and there are always challenges and things that pop up over the course of a year. So nothing's smooth. But sometimes the framework is consistent, and maybe it makes it a little easier.
When you look at this team, though, you hadn't really seen them get after it in practice and all that. Yeah, what is probably the biggest difference in this group and last year's group?
The biggest difference is we've got players to replace, and you do that every year, and so we have to create our own identity. This team will take on a completely different mindset than last year's team, and the one thing that we've stressed to them is that while we do have some kids that have played a lot of football. We lost a running back that accounted for 2,400 yards. In the history of Shelby County High School football, 11 or 12 teams, he led the county or broke the county rushing record all time. We lost our quarterback who accounted for a lot of our production. So there's a lot of guys who've played here, but there's not a lot of production back. And so every year is new, and we've got to work just as hard this year to continue to maintain any success we've had and to continue to build on that success and try to be better than that. So there's always new challenges and new things that we're striving to work on every day.
When you lose 2 guys, that are that good, that important, quarterback, running back, does that change anything of what y'all are going to do offensively or any of that type of stuff?
I don't think it changes. Every year is a different year. And I'll just use this example. From 2012 to 2017, I was offensive coordinator at Faulkner University. And in those years, we threw the football all over the park. 2014, we led the country in every division of football statistically and passing in different parts of it. And then we left. We went to Mountain Brook. And in Mountain Brook, we threw in 2018 when I was a coordinator there. We probably threw for 800-900 yards, but we ran for 3,000 yards. The ideals that you want to do, the framework of your offense doesn't necessarily change, but maybe it's just figuring out what pieces you have and putting it together. So this year will be different than last year. We had the luxury of kind of handing it off to one guy and kind of letting him do his thing, and we were really successful doing that. I don't know that we have that type of team this year or that type of player. So for us, we worked really hard on trying to distribute the ball. More people get more touches. But if you take 2,400 yards and you break it up among 3 players and everybody has 800, the end result is still the same. So we will be different. But the core structure of what we've done, it was the same at Faulkner, it was the same we did at Mountain Brook, and the same we did at Pike Road, and what we will continue to try to do here.
The senior group talked a lot about what their motivation is, which is becoming the first senior group to make the playoffs every single year that they've been here at Montevallo and that type of stuff. What kind of standard do you feel like they can set if they're able to accomplish that and show all these younger guys, hey, this is what we now expect here at Montevallo?
Yeah, so when we went back, I like to look back at the history of kind of where you're at, and I think that's important, especially with so many people on our team and so many coaches that have been a part of the tradition and the history here. So there have been 3 senior classes that over the course of 4 years made the playoffs, and there has never been a class go back-to-back. So the senior class last year was the 3rd class to do it. It was the first since, I think, 1999 that had done it. There's never been a class after those 3 that had gone to the playoffs next year. So for us, obviously we have goals. This class wants to be the first that can sort of lay their own leg and say we didn't really just lean on the people in front of us. We were able to accomplish that on our own. And we have tremendous players in this class. And so it is a big deal to them. For us, I think sometimes if you get caught up looking at the end result, maybe you miss what's the mark in front of you. We've got big games coming right out of the gate, and so sometimes with kids, you try to hone it back in and just focusing on the day. Like I'm worried about what we did today at practice, not what we look like week 10. And so if we do that, I think the big picture will take care of itself. And again, we have some kids that are really intrinsically motivated that have worked really hard all off season to make themselves the best version of themselves that they can be.
You know, you talk about having some tough games right out of the gate. How important do you feel like a good start to this season is going to be for this team and the confidence they can build themselves?
Well, I think it's critical. You know, we played Shelby County game 1, and that's a team that's been to the playoffs 2 years in a row. You know, we open it up. We play Bibb County, who traditionally is one of a really good team in the state. It's been a quarterfinalist the last couple of years. We play out American Christian, who's been to the semifinals and has really talented, and they've done a great job there. You know, we've got some really talented football teams in our region. You know, and I think, you know, you look at our region last year. ACA won the region. Bibb County finished second. We finished third at 8-2. You know, and we went into the fourth quarter at Jackson really in almost a tie ball game. I think they returned a kick with a few seconds left and kind of blew it open. But we played really good football here in 2020. I think 3 of the teams in our region won a playoff game the first year. You know, we've been a 3 seed both years, but we won a playoff game, beat St. James, you know, in 20, and we're really competitive with Jackson through the game last year. So there is really good football in our region, and I don't suspect this year will be any different.
What are your kind of keys for this team? And what is this team going to really have to focus on doing well week in and week out to be successful?
Yeah, I think to be successful in our region, you know, especially having seen it now 2 years, and our region didn't change a whole lot. We lost 2 teams and brought in Sipsey Valley, and we brought in Head County, which are both good programs. But, you know, for us, it's about stopping the run. You know, we still have some teams. That's the thing we talk about. You know, if you're in 7A Region 3, I was at Hoover and Mount Brook for a couple of years. There's not a lot of wing tees in that region. There's not a lot of triple options in that region. A lot of the same people are doing a lot of the same stuff. You know, when you get down into smaller levels of football, it's one of the things about being at Pike Road. That was my first job. It wasn't, you know, college or 7A program. And to go to Pike Road, we were 3A. And we saw the triple option. You know, we saw the full house. We saw the wing tee. And so I think at this level, first and foremost, you have to stop the run. And we do that every day. We do tackling drills and tackling circuits every day. You know, our identity as a defense is geared towards stopping the run. And we work that. So no doubt we will have to continue to do that as a defense to be successful. And I think offensively for us, we're going to have to diversify, and we're going to have to spread the ball out, and we're going to have to get everybody that's involved from a skill standpoint touches and try to play in space. We have the luxury this year of having 2 receivers that are back for multi-year starters. We have a new quarterback this year, but the kid that's right now has kind of been our guy. Started 2 games last year and won 2 games against 2 playoff teams that were both in the 5A. And so we have great athletes, and we've got to get them the ball in space and take advantage of the full dimensions of the field.
Coach, really appreciate you taking time to sit down
Absolutely.
with us.
Appreciate y'all
Come and talk to your guys.
Awesome.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.